Hey Leo, how about a reading from your metal dog? This is a general reading. It may or may not be your reading. Take, leave, reverse energies. I feel like I don't normally say that. I'm inclined to say that today, so maybe that's important for you to hear, Leo. Okay, my dog is playing in the background, so excuse the noise. He thinks we should be going for a walk. And yeah, I had to clear a lot of space on my phone so I could get your whole reading on here. I started a reading, it was about fear. Let's see what this reading is going to be about, Leo. The image here from the Queen of the Moon Oracle is of resistance, a fist, things growing out of that fist. So I think of the fist as resistance, but I also see that even though you're resisting, you're unable to prevent this growth. So let's see, there's some kind of change that's happening quite organically, and perhaps you just need to become open to that change. So still a feeling of fear here, and because I see the birds, and the birds make me think of air, and the air is about your intellect. So there could be that your mind is a part of this, or maybe you need to free your mind in some way. It looks like a very beautiful change, very natural change. So let's see, Leo. On the bottom, I just want to say this is the third time I've seen action today. Maybe I'm not getting any action. No, I've done 3 readings. One for me, one for my little sister, and now you. So the underlying energy here is about taking action. And this is, I read this both for me and my sister, and action is about taking action when you're afraid to take action. And so the cards want you to move through this resistance, I think, into some kind of action that you probably already know what it's supposed to be. But let's see if we can find out a little bit more about the action that you're supposed to be taking, Leo. So we're going to use some decks here. Well, I know for a fact we're going to use MJ Kulinon's new for Hoxa deck. It's a beautiful set of images here, fairy centered. I was just trying to see, I keep forgetting, I think they're Norwegian or Swedish fairies. I will know that next time, but they're beautiful. There's there's a lot of wisdom in this deck here. So let's see what we need to find out about resistance for you, Leo. And the dog has the squeaky toy. Okay, so first of all, wow, when I ask, what are you afraid of? It's the sun. This is one of your cards, Leo. Oh, I have to take that away from my little guy. I can't have it squeaking the whole time. You're so cute. You're making noise. Yeah, we'll get that later. Here, have that. Yeah, okay. All right. Sorry if I don't even know. Perhaps you saw my butt there. I'm sorry about that, Leo. Anyway, forget that. Moving on. Your fear is of the sun, and that's so interesting. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's like, it's a beautiful thing that you're resisting. It's like becoming your authentic self. It's total wish fulfillment. It's like reaching the ultimate you. So this can happen, and this came up in the previous reading that I had to scrap because I ran out of room, is a fear of yourself, of your very nature that's coming up here, Leo. And this, you are a fire, you are passionate, you have this willpower, this embodied self, creativity. So there's something here. In the previous reading, it was like an idea that you've had since you were little. So let's see what this reading tells you. Maybe we'll get the same message. That would be cool. All right, so you are supposed to release the 5 of air. There's all the birds that I talked about representing air here, represented with dragons. And I see all the red here. This is your willpower. Your willpower is being stopped because you're up in your head. You're afraid of something. The Five of Air is about self-harm sometimes. But we will find out more. It looks like you're afraid to use your voice. So this placement in this spread is what you need to release. So the fear of using your voice and speaking your truth. Yeah, that's a neat image here. I see dahlias. This makes me think of a particular Leo who does watch my readings. Yeah, you might have something that you need to say. And it is time to let it out, right? Resistance, action. So there is a message here of letting go, of releasing control. And it's clear to me today, since this is the same message that we've received before. Yeah, you need to open up to something that feels like you're not an expert at it, that it might be a bit rough and new, and that you're not super confident in this area, Leo. What you want to embrace is a Four of Air. This is really taking some time by yourself to go in, this very much in your mind. Again, air is of the mind, the swords, the suit of swords here. You know, and she's just like on top of this mountain. You can see all this, the shedded skins of snakes and reptiles below her. So this is a mountain where you can go and get above it all. And it looks to me, all the shed skins make me think of a process of transformation that happens here, that you go inward privately alone and you reflect on what you think, and it can lead to you changing your perspective here. Okay, so the next card that I'm going to pull is the card of what the tarot wants you to know. All right, the tarot wants you to know something has ended. The world. There is an end and there is a beginning with every end. So maybe, you know, when we think about ending, this can be scary. Absolutely. You can resist knowing that something is over. But there's something that is keeping you from being your best self, the sun, right? This is your fear, is like, if you say what you speak your truth, maybe you are aware that the world, you've reached the pinnacle, you've like fully dominated this level of the video game of life, but you're not quite ready to move on. But the tarot says something is complete, you have reached it. And I see how she is putting, the fairy here is putting all of these lanterns. This is a celebration in the world of Forhaxa in this deck. You know, the marking of the end of a year that the world has turned to be soap opera-y, okay? So in order to understand this, there's something that you need to look at in a different way. And what is that? This has to do with your work. There's the Eight of Earth. This is the work that you do. And you can see she's very rooted there, and she's also she's making these beautiful flowers. She's a part of the whole cycle of life, this fairy. But the Eight of Earth is about your work, your career. So there's some kind of, you've reached a place in your career, and you've completed that phase, that cycle here. And so it's time to rethink what it is that you do for a living. That's what I'm getting here. You know this. It's time to take action. All of your being is calling for you to take action. And what kind of action is it? It's not a major thing. It's actually telling you to take a moment and embrace that you need to just kind of go into yourself and find out what needs to change. And finally, the future is an Eight of Water. Wow, what a beautiful Eight of Water. transformation of the butterflies. I definitely see a beautiful going forward here. Hi, doggy. We're having one of the cutest doggy moments ever, where he rolls around on the ground and growls at an imaginary friend. The Eight of Water is about leaving an unfulfilling situation and going towards for that ninth cup, which is wish fulfillment. I see her looking just across the water to that other place. It's not far. But there has been some kind of inner transformation here as a result of this process, where you realize that it is time to move on to the next place. Wow. Okay. Let's clarify. Let me see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we see the Lovers. Now this is a card absolutely of your romantic partner. So your partnership, it's a really deep bond. So this could be an area where you have this change coming, and that might be why you're quite resistant to this change. But the Lovers also simply represents a choice. And this particular Lovers card has 3 people in it. Usually the Lovers is just 2 people. And so what I see here in the 3 is that you need to choose. You have 2 choices and you can choose between them. Actually, let me look at what it says in the book, because I get this and I'm like, I'm by nature monogamous. I support people who are non-monogamous, but this is definitely a different kind of Lovers card here. So let's see what she means here. On the other side of the clearing, I heard laughter and what sounded like a get-together of friends. I held back and watched the trio of beautiful fairies engage with each other, not wanting to interrupt or intrude. I decided to leave as soon as it was clear I had stumbled upon an intimate moment. But then an argument seemed to break out between the 3, and what was a lovely get-together quickly fell apart. From what I deduced, 2 of the fairies were in a relationship. The addition of the 3rd fairy caused quite the disagreement regarding where each stood in the relationship. It was easy to see how temptation played against their beliefs. One of the committed fairies seemed more inclined to go with the flow, whereas the other valued commitment and monogamy over an afternoon tryst. It was clear I was witnessing a relationship at a crossroads. The story of these fairies may appear when you too need to make a decision that pits you against your beliefs and temptation or desire. You will need to decide the path that you can live with at the end of the day. There is a path that honors your true spirit and moral compass, and only you can choose which way it goes. The Lovers may also indicate that the time to commit to a relationship that feeds your soul is drawing near, and the time has come to be vulnerable enough to love. So I think whoever you are, Leo, there's a lot there to take in. I feel like this card is kind of combining the traditional Lovers card and the Devil card, because the Devil is that dark side of the Lovers where it can be unhealthy and full of conflict and full of self-doubt. And I see that in your reading here, that there is resistance, there is fear, there is a need to make a decision, to take an action. It seems to me that it's in the realm of work, because this work is where you have to rethink, where you have to reassess what you mean by work. But the earth can also be like the very physical relationship with another person, and that a relationship takes work. So perhaps, and the Eight of Earth there's nothing negative about it. It's a very, you can see she is growing beautiful things here. She is grounded here. I also see her a little bit tingled up, not unhappy, but there's a kind of, all of her limbs are engaged here. And when we see you in the future, you're just kind of freer, like ready to cross the water. with these butterflies, because something has changed and you have come to see that change. We know that something has ended. So let's clarify. There's another card at the bottom. There was one more card for you, the Fool. So the Fool is the card that would immediately follow the beginning here. So, and that's what I got in the other reading, was a fear about doing something that you're not great at because it's new. And that can be a part of the Eight of Earth too, like a new passion, a new art that you're studying. So just a new beginning for you here. And it's a very significant choice for you. Okay, to clarify this, I know without a doubt that I'm going to use another deck by the same artist. And this one is the Wise Dog Tarot. And I'm just going to tell you, it's an intuitive, not obvious choice. So let's see, what does the Wise Dog Tarot want to tell you, Leo? Well, we've dropped out here before I ask, the Hierophant. So this is right at your very earthy structural ideas of how the world should be. These are up for you. This is where your fear is coming from, some idea that's at the very foundation and the very structural way that you've built your life. And so that's being challenged. And that makes sense with that Lover's card, how there's kind of this opportunity for a little threesome going against your kind of one fairy's conventional ideas of monogamy. So using that analogously, what are the conventional ideas that are causing you to resist what is really, obviously, growth, a very beautiful change. Yeah, same as in this action. There's some kind of fear holding you back here, some resistance. And it is, you're resisting what is really your true self, your authentic Leo qualities, your fieriness, I'm getting. Okay. The Sun, let's clarify. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Wow, again. Okay, so another one of your cards, Strength. Strength, you can see the lion there, and the little pug or French poodle. Like, I don't know my dogs really well, but I think that's like a pug. Putting her paw on the face of the lion. This is about very lovingly controlling your animal, lustful, fiery self, maybe. And maybe that is what you're afraid to quit doing. This is you being you, like a lion. And this is what you're resisting. What else? We get the Empress. There's definitely some pugs here. And the Empress is the mother in this card. Like, right, we have 3 puppies with the mother. The Empress is of the earth. She is nurturing, loving, supportive. And Strength echoes this idea of the Empress of coming from deep, loving care, nurturing support. And from there, you control like your lower frequency ideas about. And then we get the Knight of Wands. This card came up in the previous reading in this place of what you are resisting or what you are afraid of. And the Knight of Wands is a passionate, forward momentum. So I feel like there's something here about like your nature, who you are, that is being held back for some reason. You're afraid to be yourself, Leo. Let's find out a little bit more of what the tarot wants to tell you here. So in order to begin this process of like, obviously you're just supposed to open up this fist and just let go and take action and do what feels natural to you. And you're resisting that. I think in order to care for some little ones, like you feel responsible. And so you're not free to just like take the wand and run through the fire. you're being much more calming your lion nature here. And it looks like you have some Empress responsibilities. Ultimately, everybody is responsible for themselves. And so we can imagine that we're responsible. Obviously, if you're a parent, you're responsible for your kid. But otherwise, you know what? You have pets, you have employees. Those are all definitely responsibilities. Okay, I'm feeling like I want to cut this here before I clarify what you need to release. Releasing, this one tarot reader calls this the headache card, the feeling that you cannot move. Yours is what I'm getting here, which is more of an Eight of Swords. You're full of doubt. There's these dragons that are trapping you, and you're having to fight through your mind. And as we said before, this is really about speaking your truth. And perhaps there is some kind of, because you can see she's opening up her mouth. It's a very different Five of Air. Okay. But I just see you needing to speak up about something. Okay, what is it? Four of Wands. Again, Wands, fire, you. Sunflowers, the sun. Wands is really a relationship. It's a celebration. Maybe you need to speak up within a relationship. It's really the people that you get to be your authentic self with. Could be a marriage. Thinking about Leos I know. But, so there could be like this mirroring relationship where you need to speak up. I feel like you need to tell somebody the truth about, and you're afraid to open up about your truth somehow. Okay, that was very, very clear. And this is about putting down the burden. This is affirms what we've seen before. It's time to quit your job. What is the job? It could be your actual job. It could also be like some burden that you've been carrying, and you carried those wands all the way up. You're done, and you've done your work. Like, you're not quitting before you're done. You've actually completed this task. 10 is the last number in the cycle. Remember, the world is here, and the tarot says, by the way, you're done with something big. So this tired little dog that you are, you can, it's very clear, you can put down this burden, and finally, ooh, ouch, the 10 of Swords. It's hurting, it's painful. Something that you need to grieve. This is a 10 of Swords, it's loss. And we can see, again, the sun here in the background. This artist is so good at the feeling of loss, of grief, that is the 10 of Swords. And also of moving on to like acceptance that it's over. And then I'll see my dog in heaven. I really feel the 10 of Swords. You know, if you're a person that has pets, when your pet passes on, it's they stay with you, and just their body is gone. And so that's what I feel like this card is making me think about. So if this is a relationship or a career or something like that it's time to move on from, you've done your job. You've got 2 10s here. They're the hard 10s. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. It's somewhere that you have totally flourished, and you've been able to be your true self. And you need to tell somebody, I'm not sure, it could be your boss, could be your partner, but somebody that you're not telling because of this 4 of Wands feeling, which is they mean something to you. They're significant in a very, very completely positive way. It could be your partner, or somebody that you need to tell, I'm done. and you're afraid to tell this person. That's your release. Let it out. Okay. So then we see you embracing that after you do that, do you release whatever it is you need to say. It's time to go off by yourself. It doesn't mean you're single necessarily, but like I'm not saying you have to leave your relationship. I'm just saying you need to say to your person, some person in your life, like, I'm done. I'm quitting this job, whatever the job. I'm putting down this burden, and you're afraid to do that. You have resistance to that. Okay. 4 of air. Woo! All right. 4 of air. We get the 8 of swords. This is the trapped feeling that I keep seeing here. This is your mind keeping you trapped. Right? The raven crow. This artist likes crows. I'm sure it's a crow. Sitting on the dog's head. And the dog feels like, okay, I'm in my security fence of swords. The raven crow, I want to call it a raven. All the thoughts that say, I can't leave, I can't move. The crow's saying, look again, because in fact you are free. That's what the 8 of swords is about. Secondly, you get the magician, which is, you can see the hand with the heart. The magician has all the tools. You have the wands, which are your fire element. You have the swords, the brain, your brain. You have the cups, your heart. And you have the earth, your body, security, finance. You have all of the tools that you could possibly need to make the world that you want. There's clearly something that you're done with. You're anxious about moving on into something where you feel like a fool, right? Because you got the fool, this fairy, who has climbed up onto a beehive without regard for the fact that those bees might sting her. That's how the fool is. From the outside, it's like, what are you doing? You're going to get stung. You're going to get honey on your clothes, The fool's like, whatever, the view from here is so good. So there is an invitation to be the fool, to just leap forth. It's a leap of faith, and you have all the tools. So embracing this knowledge. You may feel trapped, but in fact you're free. You have all the tools that you need. And, wow, Queen of Cups. You have the heart for this. You are emotionally mature. Leo. This is where your heart is. This is the direction that you know in your heart you want to go. And that's what you realize as you go by yourself, go up on this mountain and figure out who you're going to be in your next life. Because that's what's happening here. This is the beginning of your next life, whether it's in love or work or whatever. Something new. You're going to choose something new. Because as the tarot wants you to know, something has ended. We have seen 2 tens. So what else here? What has ended? Or what is beginning? Can we see what's beginning? We just see you leaving in the 8 of water in the future for something that we can't quite see. Maybe we'll be able to see it there. But let's see. The world. Tell us more, tarot. Oh yes, here this is your new beginning. It's a new home, it's a new job, it's 3D, it's very something very new. A new offer has come in. It's being offered by this other dog here. The Chariot. Wow. And there is the momentum that you need to move forward, the mojo to take action here, right? This is one of your underlying cards. You may be afraid, you may be feeling resistance to this change, but you have a new offer and you have the momentum that you need to take action towards that. And yes, there is loss here. 5 of Cups. I know it well. This is a Scorpio card. I am a Scorpio. It is a place, it is actually you turning back and looking at what wasn't fulfilling in the past. I'm focusing on that, and that's a part of where your resistance is coming from. It's a deeply regretful place. Not that you did something wrong, but that it didn't work out. And always, it's much like the Eight of Swords that you got here under your embrace. There's always the new love, the new opportunity. This is an emotional possibility. It's there for you, but until you look away from the emptied cups, the failures, the regrets, what you're grieving, you don't see those. There's even a little bird saying, "Hey, look over there. There's something new for you." So it looks to me like you know that something has ended. You've exhausted yourself. You're feeling that ending. And perhaps you're not quite ready to turn away from the ending towards the new beginning, but it is being offered. And it's kind of coming in fast. It's coming in like a chariot here for you, Leo. All right. So let's clarify the Eight of Earth. So this is what you need to relook at. It's obviously about work. Some place that you have been perhaps learning something new. It's the area that you need to rethink. Your garden. She feels quite enmeshed in it. So let's see. Ace of Swords. The truth is, and this can be a difficult truth. There's the truth. What else? What is this truth? The Queen of Pentacles. Security. Sense of your worth. And the Knight of Cups. There's that offer. There is true love, passion. There's some kind of... I saw this in the other reading that got canceled by whatever. The gods and goddesses canceled the same reading, and it just coming through again. You have a deep emotional longing that is being offered to you here in the form of work or love. There's clearly, you could see this as romantic if you're inclined to. I'm seeing it more in the realm of work, of your creative, passionate ideas, something that is defining of you, Leo. It's very fundamental to who you are. You've finished something major. You totally aced it. You're coming in here as a queen, as a magician, and there's a new offer and it's coming in fast. This Knight of Cups tells me this offer is like the wish of your heart. It's also very practical. I think the truth is that you may be doing the practical, like your job, and focusing on practical things. Remember, the Empress came up before as a part of your fear of following your true passion. And I'll tell you, I am very secure in my life, and I'm a very Pentacles person. I can offer security and structure. I don't value it though. It's not what guides my life. And so when I see the King and Queen of Pentacles, which are often about career in tarot readings, I don't tend to be supportive as a tarot reader of living your life in order to be safe. I want you to live your life from your heart. I'm a Scorpio. I'm not afraid of tens. I'm not afraid of the world, the ending, all of the burning up and rising from the flames, the Five of Cups. I feel it. I feel you. I feel this is big, what you're giving up. It is as big as your sweet dog dying, something that you really loved. But there's something else that you love, that it's time to do that now. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do that as your Scorpio, Leo moon reader. It feels like it's very much fundamental to you, basic to your heart and to your nature. And some sense of responsibility here is preventing you from doing that. I feel like remember the Empress has puppies. Like there's some kind of other people that you feel are keeping you, holding you back. Could be a kid, it could be employees, it could be a partner, because the Four of Wands is here. You need to tell that person, I have to follow my heart's desire. I'm done with this and it's time to move to this next thing. And we see you in the future in the Eight of Cups, which is, or the Eight of Water, going to that new place that will be fulfilling now because you're finished here. Let's find out more about that future Eight of Water. Four of Pentacles. There's that sort of control. You get the police dog here and the Four of Pentacles. They kind of look like badges to me. Kind of legalistic. Four of Pentacles is, yeah, control. What else? The Emperor, more control. All of these guard dogs. And Two of Swords. This doesn't look like an easy future. As you look to the new place, this is a process that's going to take longer. You're still, so remember the Lovers can be about a choice. This also is about making up your mind. And the Emperor is very decisive, so that's coming in here as feeling decisive. I feel like, Leo, in the future, you are just looking to that dream and not going there yet because of your security needs. Oh, okay. On the bottom, one card. There's your heart's desire, the Ace of Cups. This is really about finding the nerve to grow, to let go. And in the future, I don't see you doing it. I see you yearning towards that ideal place. You know, like she's still over here and she's changed like these butterflies and she's looking over there and she hasn't decided to go yet. But it is your heart's desire over there. It's the ninth cup, the cup that is wish fulfillment. It's from it's your heart. Your heart and your practical and your mind are in conflict. You're in conflict. But you've finished. You're done. This is over, whatever it is that you're holding on to. I feel sad about that. It doesn't mean that, like, if I do a reading for you in another week or month, that you won't have made up your mind to go towards that fulfillment. But I did tell you, as your reader, who I am and what I value, and that I don't totally understand decisions based on security. But that's maybe a little dishonest, because I have a very secure life. I do make practical decisions. I'm very practical. It's easy. It comes naturally to me. And so from that practical place, I can take these leaps of the heart. And so that's what I wanted for you in this reading. I see your heart's desire is being offered to you. Very much in conflict with your sense of stability and security and responsibility to somebody. So you are subduing your selfish needs for some greater good or security need. But you should just know that you haven't decided yet in the future. What we do know is you have all the tools to free yourself from the seeming trap. And your heart is in the next thing. It's not here anymore. And that's why you need to open up. That's why you need to speak your truth to somebody. And that's why this is a card that's about self-harm. And so unless you speak your truth, you're trapped. Let's look at what the card says. Because the image is telling me that. What else does the card want to say to you? If you're still here, let's see. New deck. It's good to read the things here. Ooh, it's long. Let's see. When the Five of Air is present, scrutinize your role in the situation. Is your focus on success so narrow that you inadvertently hurt those around you? However, there are times that we need to be selfish. We need to look out for our interests first. If you are in an abusive situation, you may need to use some trickery or sacrifice a small amount of integrity to break free. Wow. Oh, this story is about an unsuspecting garden fairy invited a black dahlia into her garden to help beautify the space. The pair worked well together for some time until the black dahlia decided cooperation wasn't really her thing and wanted the praise and admiration for the beautiful garden for herself. Knowing that the garden fairy wouldn't simply pack up and leave on her own, the black dahlia began looking for an opportunity that would help her attain her goal. As the pair worked together, they noticed a flower that bore a striking resemblance to a dragon egg. Just then, that's right, okay, the opening presented itself as a pack of dragons flew overhead. The black dahlia pointed at her friend and called out, "She stole your egg." And with that, the dragons, seeing what they thought was an egg, swooped down and plucked the fairy up and out of the garden, leaving the garden to the black dahlia. Yeah, so the Five of Air is about winning, maybe in a sneaky, tricky way that lacks integrity or being taken advantage of in some way. And if you're the winner, it's a hollow victory because it's come through harm and dishonorable act. So you're either in the position of I feel like what this is about is you speaking your truth and taking care of yourself, even if it may feel like the wrong thing to do. That's the meaning that's coming through for me. But if there's something else in what I read there that resonates with you, definitely take that. Okay. All right, Leo. We'll see what lies ahead next reading. But you're in a place of transition, and you're resisting that change, that choice. You don't know what to do is kind of maybe how you're feeling, but it is your heart's desire, and you've accomplished what you needed to accomplish here. So don't be afraid to take the leap that is the fool's leap, and leave what you've done. Feel good about it. Feel your pain. For now, I see you just still in indecision, in the security mode. Okay, have a great day.